students, boys and girls. I hope you all are enjoying this journey and your first destination for chemical reactions and equations. Till now you have learned quite a lot, and now we will continue with the chapter where we will see the types of chemical reactions. Till now we have done about balancing of equations, what is chemical reaction, what is a chemical equation, and now types of chemical reactions. So there are 5 types of chemical reactions which you will be learning. Combination reactions, decomposition reactions, displacement reactions in which you have single displacement reaction, double displacement reaction, and of course a redox reaction. Although you do have other reactions like precipitation reactions and exothermic and endothermic, that also we will be learning and touching upon these reactions also. But the major 5 reactions would be combination, decomposition, single displacement, double displacement, redox, which is also known as oxidation reduction reactions. Okay, so let's get going. All ready? All set? Very good. Excellent. So let's do a recap of whatever we've done. So till now we have done about what is a chemical reaction, what is a chemical equation, and the terms related with the chemical equation are word equation, skeletal equation, and balanced chemical equation. Skeletal equation, as the name indicates, it means that we have not balanced the atoms on the reactant side and the product side of one element. So each and every element on the reactant side and the product side needs to be balanced, indicating the number of atoms. Yes, so that is so if we take here hydrogen reacting with oxygen to give water, so this becomes a skeletal equation. Yes, you have already done about this. It's a skeletal equation. Great. Now we see the steps. I told you you can draw boxes initially, and once you're very confident about it, you don't need to draw boxes, you can directly do it. So if we see on the reactant side there are 2 hydrogens, and on the reactant side there are 2 oxygens. But here if we see in the skeletal equation, on the product side there are 2 hydrogens, but there is only 1 oxygen. So our hydrogen here is balanced. Very good. So now if we again write the equation H2 plus O2 giving 2H2, but oxygen is not balanced. So what did we do? 1 into 2, and this 2 when we add it as a coefficient in the next step, so that we can make this oxygen into 2. So H2 plus O2 we have written as H2 plus O2 gives H2O, and we have added here a 2 as a coefficient, 2H2, right? Let me make it very clear. So we have here 2H2O. So we have here 2 oxygens, 2 hydrogens, 2 oxygens, and here we have 2 2s of 4 hydrogens now and 2 oxygens. So our oxygen is balanced. Now the oxygen is balanced on both sides, but hydrogen still needs to be balanced. So what do we do to make this 2 into 4? So we add a 2 into 2. So 4 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O. So this becomes a balanced chemical equation at the end of it. So this way, various steps, I am very sure as and the more you practice, you will be able to do this very, very well. And already maybe you are doing very well. I am very sure about it. And you will be able to balance any equation which is given to you. Now let us come to the main topic of types of chemical reactions. Now there are 5 types of chemical reactions. So they are combination reaction, then we have decomposition reactions, displacement reaction, it is a single displacement reaction, and a double displacement reaction, and redox reactions, which are also known as oxidation reduction reactions. Okay, so these are the 5 types of chemical reactions you need to study for your grade 10. So the examples are given here, but anyway we'll be doing in detail. Combination reaction is also known as a synthesis reaction. Combination is also known as synthesis. Okay. Let me take a darker pen so that you can see. Synthesis is, what does synthesis means? Making of something. So when two or more substances they combine and they form a new substance, they may form two or more new substances. It is known as synthesis or combination. They are combining, they are coming together to form two new substances. So A plus B giving AB. It's a new substance which is formed. So they are combining here. So it's known as combination. Then decomposition is a single substance is giving two or more substances. In this case, there are two substances which are given out. So it is known as a decomposition. Decomposition means splitting. So a single substance will split into two or more substances. Then single replacement or displacement reaction is where there is a change in the places, okay, of the elements in the reaction. Double displacement is this same change in places will take place two times. So that becomes a double displacement. Don't worry, we are going to do each and every reaction in detail, okay, and you will be able to understand the concept very well. So let's begin with the first chemical reaction, which is combination or synthesis. As the name indicates, combination, combining, okay, and this is synthesis reaction. So if we take combination reaction is the direct union or combining when two or more substances combine to form a new substance. It may be one substance, it may be two substances, there may be three substances. Don't worry about that. But then the major thing you need to know is in combination, two or more substances. Now one substance cannot combine, isn't it? There's just one substance. How can I say it is combining? It has to combine with something else. It has to have another substance to combine, a minimum requirement. Yes. So I cannot say A combines and forms B. Is this possible? No. So A should have something. A should have B with it to form a C, or A can have B plus D also to form C plus E. It can be anyway, but then there will be two or more. That's why in the definition you have two or more substances combined to form new substances. Leave it at that, new substances. There may be one substance formed, there may be two, there may be three. No issues. Okay. So that is known as a combination reaction, and because a new substance is formed, it is also known as a synthesis. Synthesis is formation, forming something new, synthesizing. Okay. So it is known as a synthesis reaction also. So A plus B gives AB. Simple general formula. So here we can have example as C plus O2 giving, so first example, CO2. So what has happened? There are two carbon and oxygen combined to form carbon dioxide. Similarly, hydrogen plus oxygen will combine to form water. So this is another combination reaction. Of course, every reaction needs to be balanced. Students, now you all know about balancing, and we know why we need to balance, how important it is to balance a chemical equation. So you cannot leave any equation unbalanced. So balance the equations. Okay. So now for the combination reaction, let us just see an experiment which will be interesting to you, and how the combination reaction takes place. Okay, I think you can watch the video even later on, but otherwise this will be playing and you can see the video which will help you to understand the combination reaction a little better. Okay.
Combination reaction. we'll require quicklime, distilled water, beakers, spatula, glass rod, test tube, dropper, and lime water. Take a small quantity of lime water using a spatula and transfer it into a beaker. Thermometer, glass rod. Slowly add water into the beaker so that quicklime remains submerged in the water. Quicklime reacts vigorously with water to produce a suspension of slaked lime, releasing a large amount of heat. Leave the beaker undisturbed for some time. A clear solution of lime water appears as the suspension of slaked lime settles down. Take a small quantity of lime water using a dropper and transfer it into a test tube. Then cork the test tube with a cork and insert a glass tube through the hole in the cork into the test tube. Blow exhaled air into the test tube through the glass tube. On blowing exhaled air, which contains sufficient CO2 gas, it turns the lime water milky. In this reaction, quicklime and water combine to form a single product, slaked lime, calcium hydroxide. So it is a combination reaction.
Okay, so this was a combination reaction. So what was the reaction about? The reaction we had here was, let me put it over here. The reaction which we have seen in the experiment is calcium oxide. What is calcium oxide commonly known as, students? Excellent. Yes, it is quicklime. So calcium oxide quicklime, the white powder was mixed with water or solution to form calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide is also known as slaked lime. So this is the combination reaction which you had seen. Now in the video you have also seen that when this calcium hydroxide, the exhaled air is blown into it, so it turns into calcium carbonate, because exhaled air will have carbon dioxide. So this combines with carbon dioxide again and forms calcium carbonate. So that's again another combination reaction. So the major reaction was calcium oxide, also known as quicklime. So you should know these terms very well. Quicklime is calcium oxide, slaked lime is calcium hydroxide, and marble or limestone is calcium carbonate. Okay. So this is a combination reaction. So have you understood the combination reaction? You can take any example for every reaction. You should know at least a minimum of 3 examples. You may take easy examples, you may take difficult examples, no problem. But I suggest that you take simple, easy examples. Don't go in for complicated ones which you may not remember. Okay, but all the equations should be balanced. Here also this is a balanced equation, already balanced. Okay. So now let us see some more examples of combination reactions. As the name indicates, now you know combining means they are coming together, they are two or more substances, they mix together, they combine together, they react and they form two or more new substances. You can just leave it at new substances. Okay, There may be 2 substances formed, there may be 3 products formed, there may be just 1 product formed, no issues. But the main word there is 2 or more substances will combine. Remember, one substance, it doesn't happen. 2 or more. Very, very important. It is a combination reaction. If we take the examples, carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. Again, there are 2 substances which are combining to form a single substance. Hydrogen reacts with oxygen to form water. Okay, then iron reacts with sulfur to form iron sulfide. Again, 2 substances are combining here to form a single substance. Then we have hydrogen reacts with chlorine in the presence of light. Now on the arrow mark, if you remember, we had done during how to write a chemical equation. So the conditions under which this reaction is taking place should be written on the arrow mark, whether it is sunlight, whether it is heating, whether electricity is used, whatever is used, or a catalyst is used, should be written on the arrow mark. Okay, so here we see heat. Triangle stands for heat in any equation, and here with the presence of light it forms hydrochloric acid or hydrogen chloride. Magnesium reacts with oxygen to form magnesium oxide. Now this combination reaction you're going to do in the lab also. You'll take a magnesium ribbon and you're going to light it or use a candle flame to light it, and you'll see that magnesium oxide, a white powder, will be formed. Okay, then sodium reacts with chlorine to form sodium chloride. Again, 2 substances are combining to form a single substance. Now you may also have where you can have 2 substances which are formed in the reactions also, 2 or more substances giving rise to 2 or more substances which are formed. Okay, so now if we take for example barium chloride and sodium sulfate, although this will come under the category of another reaction, plus sodium chloride. So you see there are 2 substances which are reacting and they form 2 new substances. So it can come under a combination reaction. Okay, so this way combination means any 2 substances which are reacting to form 2 or more new substances. So now let us see what is a decomposition reaction. Okay, so decomposition reaction is where a single substance will break down into 2 or more substances. A single substance breaks down into 2 or more substances. It splits into 2 or more substances under certain conditions. Okay, so if we take this for example, AB gives A plus B. So this is a single substance. It is giving 2 substances here. Similarly, if we take the example of high water in the presence of electricity gives H2 plus O2. So again here a single substance is breaking down into 2 substances. Of course, you need to balance this. So this is how the decomposition is taking place. So water is decomposed into hydrogen and oxygen. Similarly, if we take one more example of calcium carbonate in the presence of heat, the triangle means heat, gives calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. So again a single substance is giving 2 substances in the presence of heat. So this is a decomposition reaction. So very important here is a single substance under certain conditions will give or break down into 2 or more substances. Okay, so you also will be doing experiments in the lab in your school. So the experiment which you will be conducting probably would be taking the ferrous sulfate, okay, ferrous sulfate crystals. Now these ferrous sulfate crystals are actually green in color. So first, when you heat the ferrous sulfate crystals, the water molecules which are present with the ferrous sulfate will evaporate and the ferrous sulfate becomes white in color. So now we have ferrous sulfate which is white. So we are heating this further in a test tube and then we get ferric oxide Fe2O3 plus sulfur dioxide plus sulfur trioxide. Okay, so now this was white in color and the ferric oxide which we get is dark brown in color. or we can say reddish brown in color. You'll see in the test tube, this would be the color, and these are the gases which are emitted. And because they have sulfur, you can smell the sulfur in the lab when you are doing this experiment. So ferrous sulfate on heating gives ferric oxide plus sulfur dioxide plus sulfur trioxide. Let me put it the other way. Ferrous sulfate on decomposing gives ferric oxide plus sulfur dioxide plus sulfur trioxide, definitely in the presence of heat. Without heat, the reaction will not take place. Okay, so now let us try and balance this equation. Yeah, let me use a different color so that you know. So iron, now on this side we have, how many ions do we have? We have one ion. On the reactant side, let's use the terms also. You all know now what is a reactant, what is a product. So the reactant here is ferrous sulfate. So ferrous sulfate, on the reactant side we have 1, and on the product side we have 2 ions. So shall we put a 2 here first? Now see students, as I've told you, in case you are very confident, you can directly balance the equation. If still you feel that you need to practice some more, then draw boxes, no issues, no problems. Draw boxes, balance, but definitely balance the equation. So 2 ions, and now we have 2 ions here. Now let us look at the sulfur. Sulfur on this side is 2. This is a coefficient. Remember, this is a coefficient. It's something like this, FeSO4. So this 2 stands for all, for iron also, sulfur also, oxygen also. Okay, so 2 sulfurs we have here. So how many sulfurs here? 1 and 2, balanced. Now oxygens, 2 into 4. 2 into 4 is equal to 8. We should have 8 oxygens on the product side. So we have 3 here, 3 plus 2, 5 plus 3, 8. So we have 8 oxygen. So this is a balanced equation. 2 FeSO4 giving, very important, what is it? Heat. Okay, it gives Fe2O3 plus SO2 plus SO3. So this is a decomposition reaction, decomposition of ferrous sulfate to give ferric oxide plus sulfur dioxide plus sulfur trioxide. A number of questions are given based on this. You may have 1 or 2 questions in your board exams, and also the experiment here is important. So let us see the experiment now.
Decomposition reaction. Take a small quantity of ferrous sulfate crystals, FeSO4, 7H2O in a dry boiling tube. Hold the boiling tube with a test tube holder. Heat the boiling tube over the flame of a burner. On heating, ferrous sulfate crystals lose its water molecules and form white-colored crystals of anhydrous ferrous sulfate, FeSO4. On further heating, anhydrous ferrous sulfate decomposes to form dark brown-colored ferric oxide, Fe2O3, sulfur dioxide, SO2, and sulfur trioxide, SO3 gases. The gas emitted has the odor of burning sulfur. In this reaction, a single reactant FeSO4 decomposes to form 3 different products, Fe2O3, SO2 and SO3. So the reaction is a decomposition reaction.
Okay, so this experiment is important. You should know about this experiment because you may be asked questions based on this. You may also be asked to, draw the experiment and explain it. So you just need to put a burner and the test tube showing, labeling all the parts, saying it is ferrous sulfate, and then the products read sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide as gases, and Fe2O3 at the bottom of the test tube, which is dark brown or reddish brown in color. Okay. So I hope you have understood this decomposition reaction. Now let us see some more examples of decomposition reactions. So we have here ferric hydroxide, FeOH thrice, in the presence of heat gives Fe2O3 plus water. Okay. Then we have water in the presence of electricity gives hydrogen plus oxygen. Then silver bromide in the presence of light gives silver and bromine. So it is decomposing into silver and bromine. Then carbonic acid gives carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so these are the decomposition reactions. A single substance is decomposing, is splitting into, is breaking down into two or more substances. So it is known as a decomposition reactions. Now here we have seen three conditions in which this decomposition can take place. Okay, so decomposition reactions can be of three types. They can be thermal decomposition, electrolytic decomposition, or photolytic decomposition. We will do this now. Okay, what are the three types of decomposition reactions? Now decomposition reaction, as we have seen, there can be three types of decomposition reactions depending on the condition in which it is decomposing, whether it is using heat for decomposition, or is it using light for decomposition, or is it using electricity for decomposition. So we have thermal decomposition reaction is when the decomposition takes place in the presence of heat. Thermal decomposition, thermal, the name means heat. So whenever a decomposition reaction takes place in the presence of heat, it is known as a thermal decomposition reaction. Then electrolytic decomposition is when the decomposition reaction is taking place in the presence of electricity. And photo decomposition or photolytic decomposition is when the decomposition reaction is taking place in the presence of light. So there are three types of decomposition reactions depending on the condition or the agent which helps in the decomposition. You can say it's an agent which is helping in the decomposition, either heat or light or electricity. So let's see what is thermal decomposition. Thermal, we have already known it is heat. Whenever a decomposition takes place in the presence of heat, it is known as a thermal decomposition reaction. So you can conduct this practical work in the lab again to know how the decomposition takes place. As we have seen ferrous sulfate crystals, they were heated. That was thermal decomposition. Okay, similarly copper carbonate. So in the presence of heat. Now on the arrow mark you can either write heat or put a triangle. Triangle indicates heat on the arrow mark, but very important that you need to write this in a decomposition reaction, because on what condition, under what circumstances is it breaking or splitting into various substances, decomposing. Let's start using the word decompose more often. Okay, so copper carbonate decomposes into copper oxide plus carbon dioxide. Okay, copper oxide green black in color. Then zinc carbonate, again in the presence of heat, will form zinc oxide plus carbon dioxide. So these are the examples you can use for thermal decomposition. I repeat, thermal decomposition is decomposition of a substance in the presence of heat. So heat there is the condition required for the reaction to take place, to proceed. So let us see some examples of electrolytic and photochemical decomposition reaction. Okay, examples. Sodium chloride in the presence of electric current gives sodium and chlorine. So this is electrolytic decomposition, a single substance giving rise to two or more substances in the presence of electric current. So it is known as electrolytic decomposition. Similarly, aluminium oxide in the presence of electric current gives aluminium and oxygen. Again, a single substance giving rise to two substances. So it is decomposition reaction, and because it is taking place with the help of electric current, it is known as electrolytic decomposition reaction. Then we have already seen water in the presence of electricity decomposes to give hydrogen and oxygen. So these are a few examples of electrolytic decomposition reactions. Then we come to photochemical decomposition. Photochemical, as the name indicates, in the presence of light. Decomposition which takes place in the presence of light is known as photochemical decomposition. So example, silver chloride in the presence of light. So let me write it here again. Silver chloride in the presence of light. Now this, on the arrow mark, the condition is written. Okay. So if I don't write light and I just write silver chloride giving silver plus chlorine, it doesn't have any meaning because the reaction cannot take place without light. So silver chloride in the presence of light gives silver and chlorine. So if we balance this, it is this way. So this is a photochemical reaction, and it is a decomposition because a single substance is giving two substances, or is breaking down into two substances, is splitting into two substances. It is known as a decomposition reaction and a photochemical decomposition. Similarly, silver bromide. Silver bromide also in the presence of light will give silver and bromine. Okay. So again, this is a photochemical decomposition reaction. Then here if you see, this is a thermal decomposition is copper carbonate in the presence of heat gives copper oxide plus carbon dioxide. Now this copper carbonate is green in color and it turns black once it decomposes. It gives copper oxide which is black in color. That is how we identify the two compounds. So this is thermal decomposition because it is taking place in the presence of heat. So there are three decomposition reactions depending on the conditions. It may be thermal decomposition if heat is used for decomposition. Secondly, it can be photochemical decomposition if light is used for decomposition, and electrolytic or electric decomposition if electricity is used for the decomposition reaction. So I hope you have understood. With these examples, you can remember any one or two of them for writing in your examinations. You should know the examples for each category of decomposition reactions. Okay. So what have you learned in this complete video is we have learned about that there are 5 types of chemical reactions: combination, decomposition, single displacement, double displacement and redox. Out of the 5, we have done 2 reactions. I would like to mention here that we will go slowly. We will not be covering all the reactions at the same time, because then there will be a confusion. You may not understand really, each of them. So I am going slowly. We're taking up 2 reactions at a time so that you get the feel of it, and by the time you see the next reaction, you are thorough with the previous reactions. So we have seen 2 reactions, that is combination reactions and decomposition reactions. Combination is where 2 or more substances combine and form new substances. Decomposition is where a single substance will decompose into 2 or more substances. We can also say that combination or decomposition is the reverse of combination. Okay. So if we see here, H2 plus O2 gives H2. Right? So this was a combination reaction. Now, if I make this 2H2O in the presence of electricity gives H2 plus O2. So don't you think it is the reverse? Yes, it is the reverse. So you may have a question, say, asking you to explain as to why are decomposition reactions a reverse of combination reactions. So you can take one example and explain, saying that in the Decomposition reaction, we get the two or more substances, single substance. Just give the definitions, give an example. So it is understood that it is the reverse. Fine. So decomposition, single substance into two or more substances, and combination is two or more substance, they combine to form a single substance. I hope you have understood the decomposition combination reactions very well. And decomposition, again, we have seen three types of decomposition. One is in the presence of heat, known as thermal decomposition; in the presence of electricity, known as electrolytic decomposition; and third one, in the presence of light, known as photochemical decomposition, photolytic decomposition. So this is what we have learned. What is the first reaction? Can you just guess? A plus B giving AB. What does it indicate? Two or more substances combining to form single substance. So it is combination. Very good. Wonderful. So you have understood this. Now here we have second example, single substance. We have two or more substances. So it is identified as a decomposition reaction. And if you have on the arrow mark showing either heat or light or electricity, so then you can classify still further, saying whether it is thermal decomposition or photochemical decomposition or electrolytic decomposition. So students, that's all in this video. I hope you have understood the two types of reactions which we have discussed. I am very sure that you will be able to answer any question related to this topic. So I leave you with a few facts, and just keep calm and you're going to love chemistry. So with this is Usha Mangipudi signing off.